This drives me absolutely crazy. There are so many people who want to get into the travel industry to work as a travel agent. And here is what I hear over and over. They just say, well, I just heard, if I just tell them what cruise to book, well, then I get commission, right? It's not how it works. If you are just giving away free information all day, guess what's going to happen? They're going to go book direct on the tour operator website, the cruise line, the hotel website, wholesalers, excursion tour companies website. If you don't actually book the trip for your client, you don't get paid anything. You get paid nothing. You are then a free travel agent who gave away free advice with no revenue that was handed to you because you didn't understand how this whole process works. So I think we need to really demystify and talk about, honestly, how do you make money as a travel agent? And so I just want to hit this point a little heavier. So many of you have reached out to me and are like, well, I'm the person in my circle of friends that everybody wants to book through, and I'm the one who plans everyone's trips for free already. And now I just want to get paid for it. That does not mean you necessarily should be a travel agent. That you might have good travel skills. I have those skills as well. I am definitely the travel dude in my circle. I've been to 43 countries. I've been on 23 cruises, a river cruise. I've been to South Africa. I've been to 5 of the 7 continents. I can honestly tell you though, it's still not easy to get customers, especially as a new travel agency. It is not easy. Do not let anyone fool you and say it's going to be really easy and they just got this tool set up and it's going to be streamlined. No, it's not. The only way you might get leads, which are customers, right? New potential customers handed to you, is if you're working with an existing travel agency. They may have things like a Facebook group that you can participate in where you can comment and make posts, and then those customers are yours, right? That may be a possibility. Other agencies may have a lot of leads from like setting up a table at an expo. They might have went to a conference, right? And maybe they have a lot of leads from that like wedding venue setup, right? That may be possible. That agency might hand you leads, but the host agency themselves is typically never going to give you leads. Understand that. You are going to have to go out and find your customers. And a lot of people don't realize that. They're like, well, I'll just book my friends and family. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Friends and family are the worst customers. They are the absolute worst. They are going to nickel and dime you. They're going to expect you to do everything for free. They're going to expect you to bend over backwards and do every single little thing. And then they're going to expect you to rebook it 50 times to save them 5 cents. That's the reality of booking friends and family. You're going to need to go out and find good customers, have a good client base that you're trying to go out and find. And also, who do you want to work with you, right? What are you selling? What is your kind of specialty or your niche? I know a lot of you don't like that. We're going to do a couple of videos on this specifically, so don't worry. Make sure you click subscribe so you don't miss those videos when they come up soon. But I'm going to tell you something. You don't make money for just giving away giving away information and advice to people that want to travel. If you're like, oh yeah, this is the best cruise. Here's the link on Carnival Cruise Line's website. And then you're like, oh, by the way, can you just, I'll book it for you and I'll send you an invoice. You give me your credit card information. Some people don't want that. You got to understand that you are going to have to be a trusted source of authority, and it's not easy to build. A lot of people like myself use platforms like TikTok and now going into YouTube to gain credibility and authority, so people trust you, because people, right? Think about it. How many times have you gone to Amazon to go buy something? Have you ever called a friend and be like, hey, can you go on Amazon's website and just like find those really nice like paper towels and that special soap I want, right? You are becoming a middleman in a way. And I know a lot of people in the industry don't like to think about it that way, but really a travel agency kind of is a middleman. We're connecting the customer to a right product, a right experience, a right level of quality or luxury or privacy, right? You're connecting them to the product. But I got to be honest, the travel industry is so heavily couponized and promoted in advertisements and discounts. And sometimes it actually is not cheaper to book with a travel agent. It might end up being a little bit more expensive. Some brands do not play level one-to-one. The consumer price might be lower. I'm just being honest with you. A lot of people aren't going to tell you that, especially when people are out there recruiting travel agents to come to work for them because they get an affiliate fee or referral fee for getting you to sign up. They're always kind of sensationalizing it and sugarcoating it. But for those of you that really want to do the business and the sales and the marketing, I think this is a great career. I'm just giving you a heads up of what you're getting yourself into, because honestly, a lot of people sugarcoat it. You can give someone all the right tools and everything, and guess what? Some people just give away free advice all day, and people don't book with them. And the travel agents, the new ones that come in the industry, have no sales. They're burning their wheels, like literally they're just spinning their tires in the sand. And I know people that have been doing this for 1, 2, 3, 4 years, and they literally have barely any sales. And you're like, well, the client just took the information and booked it themselves. I hate to say it, but it's very easy for someone to do that. You are going to have to stand out and appear as an authority figure. You're going to have to be the trusted source, and you're going to need people to trust you and for them to understand, for you to get paid and provide service to the customer, right? That you have to book it for them. A lot of people don't like that. People like to go on Amazon, right? And browse, scroll, look at related items, related things for sale, look at reviews, look at pricing, look at promo codes, all that. It's a difficult industry to get into and to make money successfully, I should say. It's not easy. It's actually very easy to get into, and I think it's almost too easy. But a lot of you don't understand, even if you are the person in your circle of influence at work, at your hospital, at the restaurant you work at, the company, anywhere, right? If you work at a hospital and everybody knows you as the travel lady or the travel dude, and they book with you, that's a really good customer base. That actually is. And people already know you, so you're piggybacking off of a relationship you already have. Like realtors, if you're a great, successful realtor, you'll probably just be able to send an email to your database and be like, hey, I'm booking travel now professionally. I'm not working as much in the real estate industry. That's a really easy transition because you already have people that know you, right? That is the whole deal. And I say this with love. I'm not trying to convince you not to get in the industry. I'm trying to tell you what you're actually getting yourself into and what to expect. Too many people don't set the expectations accordingly. Everyone's out there trying to get you to come on a webinar, to discover this new opportunity to make money from your laptop, right? They're selling the feeling of making money online, so you don't have to go in and punch in and out at the time clock, right? It's a non-salary, it's a non-hourly position. You're only paid commission on what you book, right? It doesn't matter how much information you know. It doesn't matter how many trips you've personally taken. If people don't want to book through you, you're not going to make any money. And I think this video needs to be said. We need to shout this. And I hope my colleagues in the industry see this video and also decide to get on YouTube and other platforms and share accurately how this works, because it's just way too easy to get in the industry. It is. And a lot of you have no sales, no marketing experience. And everybody's like, well, we have training, we have this program, we have this mentoring program. At the end of the day, you got to understand though, you're going to have to get someone to give you their credit card for you to then book it through whoever you're booking through, the cruise line, the wholesaler, the tour operator, maybe directly in a cruise line, directly with a hotel brand, or maybe with a safari brand in South Africa that you found or met through a conference. Someone's got to give you their credit card. They can't just go to the website and book it themselves. The only brand that I know of that actually works really well for this is, technically there's two. So Viator, for excursions, activities, transportation, right? They do have a travel agency program, but also Viator heavily advertises direct to consumer. Keep in mind that almost every travel brand does. The other brand that actually works really well with a link that you can send someone and it is connected to your travel agency with a full commission, there's no commission discount, is Virgin Voyages, which is an adults only cruise line, which means a cruise line for no kids. You have to be 18 and up to travel on that brand. That's the only really two major brands in the travel industry that have like a link that you can send a client. But a lot of people now are getting smart and they're like, well, they just sent me this long link. They know there's like some tracking cookies or something right in the link, and they're just going to go directly to the cruise line. And what you don't want are people to then call the brand, because then, I'll just give an example. Princess Cruises, for example. If a customer calls Princess, the agent's working for Princess at the call center. They're actually not a call center. Most of those people work from home. They have access to group rates like we do. But if you didn't create a group and you weren't holding group space, you don't have that same price. Someone at the call center might actually be able to beat your price. So just understand, if you think it's going to be a one-to-one, it may not be. It sometimes is. Some majority of the time it is, but it seems like we're always fighting in the industry trying to match what somebody can book direct. And it's a battle that's been going on for a long time. It's been a lot more prevalent now, especially post-COVID. So just understand what you're working against. If you are the person in the circle of influence, your friends, that's the travel planner, plans every minute of every trip, that's great. But if people aren't going to give you their credit card to then go book it on whoever you're booking through, your trusted travel supplier or vendor or travel company, you're not going to get paid. You're going to go through all this training, learn this entire industry, and guess what? You might end up making like no money. So I'm just being honest with you. And I think we just need to stop sensationalizing the industry and really pull people that want to learn sales and marketing. If there's one skill I can teach you, and actually it probably won't be me that teaches you the best, I've learned from other people in the industry, you've got to go out and build relationships. And honestly, I kind of failed at this. I've been mostly doing online marketing because I don't live where I grew up. I've been living in Texas for 10 years, working as a pharmacist. I don't work in the industry anymore. I just do this now. But I don't market locally. So I market mostly online, and it is difficult. It's difficult to market online. There's a lot of competition. Think about it. I'm also making videos on TikTok and now YouTube. Like, there's a lot of competition. You're going to have to stand out from the crowd, and it has to really come down to trust, relationships, your personality, and your authority, and how you can assist someone. So you might want to work on your pitch before you join the industry of why someone should book through you. And what does that mean? That means you sending the client an invoice, collecting their credit card information, then you booking it for them through a vetted company, right? A vetted supplier. Just make sure you understand this, because it kills me to see so many people get in the industry and everybody thinks it's so easy. They saw this Facebook ad and they jumped on this Zoom webinar, and then before you know it, they just signed up because all you gotta do is give a credit card, right? And your driver's license to be a travel agent. It kind of is that easy with some host agencies. It is very easy. It's easy to join. Getting dedicated, loyal customers though, difficult. And there's so many people getting in the industry, and there's a huge turnover. I cannot emphasize to you. I think someone reported, and I can't remember where I saw this number, the turnover rate in the travel agency industry is like over 80%. That means like 80% of people getting in just quit. So just understand what you're getting yourself into. Find a mentor, decide what's the best way to get in the industry. But seriously, before you do any of those things, think about this one thing. How are you going to make yourself stand out from the crowd? How are you going to be a good salesperson? It's not just about how much training you do. It is all about psychology. Sales is just psychology. What does a customer want, and what can you provide them? And are you saving them time? Are you providing unique solutions? Maybe a different perspective, maybe a different style of travel. Maybe you're going to introduce them to a new part of the world because they've been to the same hotel or all-inclusive resort for like 50 times. Maybe you're the one that's going to convince them maybe to go to Southeast Asia, maybe go to Africa, maybe start doing Hawaii, Tahiti, or Fiji. That's an option. I'm not telling you what to do, but you better have nailed down before you sign up to be a travel agent. How are you going to convince people to give you their credit card? That is the magic. And a lot of host agencies have good sales training. I'm with a host agency called Outside Agents. I've been with them for 6 years. This is not a sponsored post. They didn't give me any money. They paid me no money to make this video. I'm not endorsing them. I'm not saying they're terrible. I'm not saying they're wonderful. I did learn a good amount from them. But I will still say, though, before you get in the industry, you should know how you're going to get sales. And it's not just so much the customer base, it's what service are you providing, which also then means you need to be confident in yourself. A lot of people are like, I'm not showing my face. I'm not making social media pictures or videos. I don't want people to know what I look like. Well, guess what? A realtor, all the best realtors that I know that are the top of their industry in Texas, where I lived for almost 8 years, they have their picture on benches at the bus stations. They have their names all over on billboards on the highway. Like, people know them and they know what they look like. So you better take a deep breath and buckle up for the long haul. And you're going to have to show your face. You're going to have to eventually show your face. So if you're nervous about that, that's all internal stuff that you can work on, right? A lot of people are nervous. You're going to eventually just get comfortable. Like, honestly, do you think it's easy for me to make these videos when I have rosacea and my teeth are yellow, right? And no, of course not. But I've just gotten used to it. And when I was nervous in school giving presentations, because I was always like the president, the secretary, the VP of all the clubs at school, I had to get in front of people at my university, in front of all these pharmacy students, right, and faculty, and talk on stage. It eventually, you just get used to the nervousness. Like, it doesn't really go away. So you're just going to have to do it. You're going to have to bite the bullet. It's like saying you have to go to the dentist, or like go for like, I hate talking about this, but I was a pharmacist, right? So I'm going to give this analogy. It's like going for a colonoscopy. Nobody really wants to go drink the gallon jug. It's disgusting. Nobody wants to be on the toilet for 12 hours, like dying. Like, literally, it's like dying, right? And nobody wants to do it. But you know what? You sometimes have to do it. Just like if you're going to be in sales, which travel agent industry is sales, you better know how you're going to win that customer over. Practice all this first before you get into the industry. And if you saw this video and you already signed up, I think you know what your homework assignment is now. You better know how you're going to stand out. And you better know how you're going to close that sale, especially when a client already went to the cruise line website, hotel websites, Expedia, Booking, all these other booking websites, right? And already looked at the prices for things that you sent them. You might want to learn how you're going to still close that sale. And you might have to close the sale even if your prices are not the same. Sometimes clients can find stuff cheaper elsewhere. So it's not always based on price. If you're advertising yourself based on price, you're going to lose the long haul. You better practice how you're going to provide service and how you're going to take care of the customer. That's what this industry is all about. It's relationships. How are you going to take care of your customer? Think about that every time you have a customer encounter. I promise you, it will win you over. Even on the worst of days, just think about, what does this customer really want? If you don't know, you need to go back and qualify them and ask them more questions. Be like, hey, why did you want to go to Hawaii in the first place? Why did we not do Costa Rica? Right? Be the expert, be the consultant here. Be the consultant. It's just like why another good example besides real estate, which I call a parallel industry, a good example is like financial planners, people that help you make financial investments. I already know about Charles Schwab, Fidelity, what's the other big ones out there? Vanguard, right? I can go put money in a 401k, a self-funded a 401k or a Roth IRA. I don't need anyone to do it. I can go do self-service all on the website. But you know what it doesn't really provide? And you always have to call. You're always like, should I be putting money in this account or should I be doing something else? It's the consultant. Those people still make money as financial planners, financial consultants, because people need advice and guidance. They need a well-rounded answer that matches with what the customer wants. It all comes down to the customer. So think about that. Think about that. When you're getting in the industry, if you're new or thinking about it, you better have this nailed down. What's your pitch? What's your elevator speech if I saw you? And you're like, oh yeah, I book travel. Oh, why do you book travel when I can just go on Expedia? You got to think about that. Think it through. I know you can do this. I believe in you. And this is all just skills you can learn. Don't let anyone fool you. You can learn a lot of these skills, but you don't forget these little things we just talked about. It's all about the customer. All right, so I think this video dragged on enough. I'm going to go watch the sunset at the beach, and I will see you in the next video. Could I ask a huge favor, though? Could you please just click subscribe or send this to a friend that you know that wants to be a travel agent or is just getting into the industry that might be struggling? Send this video to them so they can learn. But I sort of appreciate it. As always, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you guys later in the next video.